everybody. This is fucking... I forgot how to do the intro. Jesus
Fandom
Christ.
Flux
Okay.
Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast. I am your host, KCW. This is only the first take of this fucking intro, I promise.
Totally.
I didn't have to redo it and then still forget how to do it at all. That's not a thing that a capable host would do. So, with me we have Soisinus.
Hey.
Zero.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
You sounded far away.
Am I closer now?
Yes. And Kenchi.
Hi, I'm Kenshi618, and if you can't easily identify the screw-up in your usual gaming party, it's probably you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
I know that feel. So, first things, we're doing things. So what are we doing? Zero.
So, I beat Bloodborne a while back.
Oh shit, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I really liked Bloodborne.
Sure it was.
So I went on to New Game Plus, and Father Gascoigne murdered me really badly. So I was thinking, okay, how am I going to beat him? And then I realized, after having beaten the game and gone through this, that it's basically the Taurus Demon fight. Not the Taurus Demon,
You mean he can accidentally jump off a cliff?
No, not the Taurus Demon. It's the other one with the...
The Capra Demon?
The Capra Demon, yes. It was the Capra Demon fight.
With the dogs?
Not with the dogs, because if you run around the back, there's stairs, and then there's a small little area where you can fall, and then you can fall again.
Yep.
I basically just had him chase me there, and then when he fell, I just wailed on him, he fell again, and then he ran back up around the stairs to get to me, and I just kept doing that. And then I realized I went through the entire game without ever realizing that.
Well, you only fight him once, so it's not so much the whole game.
Fight.
Yeah, I know, but I felt so ashamed. Because I watch other people play Bloodborne and everything. I watched a few, Let's Plays and stuff. Nobody else does that.
Well,
So
from what I'm getting, you're not supposed to cheese bosses in this game. This one is you fight the boss. That's it.
yeah, but cheesing the boss was so satisfying.
It is the way of souls, so, yeah.
So, other than that, I started watching Critical Role, which is D&D group with voice actors.
Sounds cool.
Laura Bailey's on there, by the way.
What?
Yeah. They got Liam O'Brien, Matthew Mercer.
You just named two of Casey's most favoriteest people. In
Travis Willingham is there.
He's okay.
They have a lot of people. It's like eight different people there. So I was watching that D&D with them, and it's really good. I actually like that.
That's not surprising. They're amazing people.
Yeah, and they do voices for all the characters and everything. So Matt Mercer is the DM, so he's doing voices for all the NPCs and monsters they encounter. It's just great. It's hilarious. So I recommend you watch it. I'm pretty sure Casey will, now that I mentioned Laura Bailey.
Yeah, pretty much. That's going to be the rest of my night, yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Saw that coming.
They normally stream it, but you can find the episodes on Geek and Sundry, their website thing. The episodes are pretty long, so you might want to break them up a little bit. But it's pretty funny, and I've kind of got hooked on that. Like Travis William is Grog, the barbarian, and Laura Bailey's the the half-elf ranger, and it's cool. Liam O'Brien's like her brother, and all the things that they have with their group. I like it. I like the dynamics.
Okay.
I also was catching up on the Deadpool comics because I was reading them for a while, and apparently Deadpool is dead.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I was kind of upset. Not just like I know he's gonna be back, but you can't kill off Deadpool permanently. Like there's a whole, but I was upset because final chapter he has this whole humongous final issue he has this whole humongous fight with all these enemies and it's epic and everything, and then he dies because the Avengers failed to save the world, so plot stuff killed him. It's just, 1 minute he's all happy, and then boom, he's dead. Ha ha.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, the whole world dies, including Deadpool, because the worlds collide into each other.
Oh, that. Okay. Stupid, but
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, they're obviously going to reverse that. That's kind of a...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to somehow reverse it or something, but... I don't know. Some people are saying there's a controversy about Marvel just cutting off the series that they don't have the rights to films for, because they canceled the Fantastic Four comics, and they killed off the Wolverine. So
How do you kill Wolverine?
Yeah, they killed Wolverine.
And now they're killing Deadpool, because Deadpool has a movie coming out next year.
Wait, that's actually happening?
Yes.
Is it going to be Ryan Reynolds?
It's actually confirmed. It is happening. It's coming out next year, early next year.
You missed the most important part of that
Yes,
question.
it's
Is
Ryan
it going to
Reynolds.
be?
It's
Yes.
Yes, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Awesome.
So, I don't know. I was kind of upset by that, by the execution of that. Oh, that being said, it was a really good chapter, but...
Well, you can enjoy him in film form now.
Yeah.
Because apparently Marvel decided, fuck you.
Well, they want to build their DCAU thing. That's what it's called, right? The movie
Marvel
continuity?
Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, that's it.
MCU.
It's Marvel.
Which they're doing, and they're doing that by pretty much using every hero they have.
Yeah. But I've been hearing...
And killing the ones that they don't want to use.
I've been hearing some
characters.
conflicting things about it. Some people are saying Deadpool's going to come back in the fall. Some people are saying, no, he's gone. I don't know. It's a mess. Also, I watched the season finale of Gotham the other night. I'm no spoilers, but Gotham succeeds as a show at making you want to come back to see it for the next episode, yet still not being that great.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like I want to find out what happens to, say, the Penguin, because I like the Penguin. And I find out what happens to these characters. But what happened in the episode for some of the characters, for a lot of things, is just kind of, I don't get that. Please explain that, because I don't understand why the heck that happened, or why they're doing that. But it's odd like that. I mentioned to Casey a little bit earlier, I went to a concert the other day.
He did? That's pretty much all he said.
Yeah, that's all I said. It's called For King and Country. It was a Christian concert. Christian rock. You should not...
There are some good Christian rock. I like Flyleaf. Or I like old Flyleaf when they had the good singer.
They're really good, actually. Like, I recommend just listening to a song before you say, just because the word Christian was mentioned. But, like, the story is these guys were two dudes from Australia who moved to America, and they got the whole band together, so... Yay, accents!
So, King and Country was that?
Yeah, for King and Country.
And Country... I'm going to have to specify music, because that's a common phrase.
I came back from their concert with a CD and a hat, so I think I like them a lot. They're great.
I hate them.
Other than that,
fuck the CD and hat because I hate them.
Other than that, I was glad to finish up some group projects that I had to do for school, and I finished a 5-page paper for philosophy of art on mechanical reproduction of art, which was fantastic to write.
That does sound pretty fun, actually.
Sounds interesting, yeah.
It was, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun writing. It was a good mental exercise. So, non-sarcastically, it was actually I actually like writing for that class.
A lot of art stuff like that is pretty fun, actually, I've found.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much what we do right here, mostly. Well, different kind of art, but yes.
Huh, never thought about it like that before, but yeah.
So, I think I'm done with my week.
Is that everything? Okay.
Yeah.
So Ken, you go next.
All right. So
You're kind of quiet.
Oh, I'm quiet.
So I see you've got some white noise as well.
Hmm?
I think it's you.
Am I still quiet?
You're louder.
Oh, wait, there's one last thing I forgot to mention.
Okay, Zero.
While I was there, I ended up sponsoring a kid through Compassion International. This kid lives in Africa, and I swear he's going to be the next Black Panther with my $45 a month I'll be sending him.
Seriously?
Okay. I'm not going to comment.
Yeah, that's
Sponsoring
probably
a
good
kid.
policy.
Yeah. I feel like a good person for it. That's as much as I'm going to say.
I can't help myself. Zero, you do realize the Black Panthers were a real thing. You do realize that, yes?
Yes?
Okay, just checking. In that case, he just said a really stupid thing on purpose. Fair enough. Ken, you want to
When
go?
do I not say
next?
a really stupid thing on purpose?
Ken, please go.
All right. So, as you know, I'm trained to be a wrestler. So,
Sure, okay, yeah.
As constantly referenced by my multiple injuries that they just made fun of on.
I'm pretty sure it was just the same injury that you refused to let heal, but yes.
Whatever. Anyway, Saturday there was a wrestling show that I went to, and I wound up in a battle royal.
Oh God, okay.
Huh, alright.
Yeah, which is basically like a bunch of people in the ring at the same time. Point of the match is to throw everyone else out so there's one person left. So I was in that. And everybody that was new was like super stoked to be in the Battle Royal, even if they weren't going to win it, even if they were only in it for like 5 minutes, if only that. I was the only one that was completely bored.
Why?
And I didn't want to say anything out loud to crush anyone's hopes and dreams, but here's the thing. Even if it was, it's the first time they got in the ring in front of people, I fought in front of people. So a battle royal, I'm not going to be nervous. I've had people have been trying to kill me in front of actual people before. So,
right.
unless I'm having an actual match where I'm doing real choreography and the stuff I do has to be tight, I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm not going to be nervous. So until I actually start having real matches, it's all just null to me. It's numb to me. I'm numb to it. Until I actually have to start performing. So, and no one else. No one I'll talk to about that could understand why I didn't feel anything that whole time. So
I don't see why. That's a pretty simple concept. I mean,
let's see. In addition to that, for the first time, I was able to get all of my people together on Grand Theft Auto 5 to play heists. And once again, I reaffirmed who the weak link of my team of friends is. We all knew.
Is it you?
No, it's not. We all knew who it was, but it just got reaffirmed so well during this entire series. We did like 3 heists. First and foremost, we had to do like the very first heist because they hadn't done any. Which is basically you got to get the stuff together and you got to hack into the security system, and then you got to do the heist itself. Now, you gotta hack into security on the way to the heist. The weak link friend wound up being the hacker.
Oh God!
It's a 5-minute drive from where our partner is.
The hacking is basically a game of Snake.
Yeah,
more or less.
Exactly what it is. It took him 20 minutes to hack into the security system. So basically, we had to like wait out front while he was trying to hack into the place. We couldn't get close to the bank until he was done.
You couldn't quit out and choose somebody else?
No, I don't.
You choose the roles before the thing.
Yeah.
So
That doesn't mean you can't quit all the way out and do it again.
Then he was the engineer. So he had to cut into the vault while I was doing crowd control. And that took like 5 minutes. And in crowd control, you got to stand up front and like point your gun and like make a lot of noise and make sure everyone's scared. So they don't try any hero shit. By the time he cut through that safe, like one of the dudes just didn't even care anymore. One of the NPCs up front was just like, yeah, dude, you got a gun, you're shooting it, you're pointing it at me, you haven't shot anyone in like 5 minutes, I don't care anymore.
At that point, you have to kill somebody just so they know fear.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was just the first heist. On the second one, you had to like break into like a prison to get some Russian scientist dude out, and you had to get all this stuff together. And there was multiple phases to this. I dreaded getting teamed up with him, but I had to take it because it was like 4 people to this particular heist. So it was like law of fairness. Someone had to rotate with the weak link character for it to be fair. And the one he wound up doing with me is you had to sneak into this dude's mansion grounds and find him and kill him. And if you got caught, he would run. And if you got away, you failed. So I was like, you need to, I parked there's like this precipice that's like, you can see the mansion from there. So I was just scouting out with my rifle and stuff. And I was like, you stay right here. You don't move. I'll do this myself. And I went in stealthily on my own. And it was going great. Until he decided he was going to help. And from where you could see from the cliffside, you could see 3 guards. And he had a sniper rifle. And he shot the 3 guards. And the other guards noticed the 3 guards had been shot. So the dude took off running, and the other guards realized, hey, there's someone shooting at us. And the computer characters, like the NPCs in Grand Theft Auto, are really kind of smart. They have really good aim, and they know where you are. And I was the closest one to them.
Oh.
So I had to fight my way out of this mansion on foot, which wasn't even the bad part. Like, I can do that just fine. And that just meant it was up to my friend to go and get the guy that was running away from the mansion while I was fighting through all the guards. My car was right there. And I was like, dude, he's going out the back of the mansion. There's like a long-ass driveway out the back of the mansion that he was running out of. He was like, take my car, go run his ass down. He didn't do that. He went in and helped me fight. So, eventually I did get out of there, because for some reason the dude didn't, like, try to steal a car, or he didn't have a ride or anything, so I had to, like, super sprint his ass down and kill him myself.
Is this a situation where your friend is just in general an idiot, or does he just not follow instructions well or something?
I don't know. I can't tell. We haven't trusted him really with anything of any magnitude since like Call of Duty 4. That's when we really started playing together a lot. Like this team formed, and we haven't trusted him since then.
Oh.
So this is a long time. But he's our boy in the real world, not just playing games. We know what we're getting. You know you're getting a fucking cement mixer with this dude, and you gotta handle certain things yourself.
That's one interesting way to put it, sure.
That's commendable, I guess. Yeah.
Then came the actual heist itself, which is when you got to break into the prison. Now, for this particular part, it's split into 2 groups again. One group has to dress up as a prisoner and a guard, sneak into the prison, and get the dude out. The other team has to steal a transport bus that's taken the dude and, do something with it. I think destroy it or something. And the other person's the pilot who's going to be picking up the dude that you're flying him out of the country. Well, this particular friend had a very easy job. All he had to do was like stop the bus or whatever and steal it or something. He wound up forcing the driver of the bus to like flip off a cliff and destroy the bus. he failed it.
That one I could kind of understand because it doesn't stop like a normal car would. You can't just park in front of it.
Yeah, so then...
And the AI can be a little bit squirrely, yes.
Yeah, so then we switched roles, and he was with me again, and we were going prisoner guard into the prison to get to the prisoner to get him out. We got made, like, the second we got off the bus because he toggled his gun on.
Great.
He didn't have his gun stashed. So, like, we got 10 steps away from the bus. He, like, pulled his gun out, and then we had to fight, like, in the middle of a ring of guards. And that was just 30 minutes of hell inside of that prison. Because we had to fight the guards and the SWAT, and the NPC that we were trying to get out of there was an idiot as well.
As most NPCs are.
Yeah.
I mean, he did pull a solid... my friend did pull a solid at the end by grabbing an armored van to get us out of there. Because otherwise, we would not have made it out of there in one piece at all. But then he went ahead and fucked it up later. Because you want to know what he did?
What?
Close to the prison was the spot where we were supposed to pick up the bus to drive into the prison with. And we had left our cars parked there.
Oh.
And he had a bulletproof Kuruma, a bulletproof car, the other day. And he was really proud of. And he thought, this is going to protect us all the way to the airstrip. This is great. I'm going to get my car. We're going to drive to the airstrip. He was driving the van, by the way, because he had picked it up in the first place to save us.
Oh,
he
really?
drove to this place. He couldn't find his car at first, so he gets out of the van and starts running around this like little hut place looking for his car, leaving me in the passenger seat and the dude in the back, while we have 5 stars at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So he gets in this car, and eventually I take over in the driver's seat, and I realize something. You idiot. Why did you get into your car? The van is bulletproof in the first place. We weren't getting shot at all the entire time we were leaving the prison. And not only that, here's the real kicker. The airstrip was a good 30 seconds away from where he stopped to get his car.
Wow.
Okay.
That is glorious. I love that. That's brilliant strategy.
In a horrible train wreck kind of way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, thankfully, we pulled it off because 3 of the 4 parts of our system were good. But that was kind of infuriating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I did with the rest of my week. I was... Like, this happened last night, by the way.
It's a pretty solid week, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Slicer.
Alright. Crap, I gotta move my mic. Or this window, that's a better idea. There we go. Okay. First off, Binding of Isaac, I got that ages ago, and I hit a skill cap. I could not really unlock any more items, or anything, or characters, so I just started modding the game. So now my character, the main character of my choice, starts with stats the game can no longer record, because they're so high. Yeah.
Oh.
Go big or go home, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So I've since unlocked a lot of stuff, and it's been pretty fun, actually. I'm glad I played the game until I couldn't play it anymore before doing this, because it does lose a lot of its appeal. I mean, there's no survival anymore, it's just work, essentially. Fun for a while, but yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but Steam had a roguelike sale. I'm not even sure how to describe that genre, but Binding of Isaac is one of them.
Yeah,
And
you
since
die,
I'm-
you lose everything and start over.
Yeah.
Well, you lose your progress, but not necessarily all your stuff.
That's the problem with Die Hard Dungeon, the game I got, is there is no sense of progress at all. At least in Binding of Isaac, you get the little achievements, and it says, you unlocked so-and-so, and it's now in the basement. And that, you know the item is available for obtaining that from then on. But in this game, it doesn't. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, that's what roguelikes are well, that's what they were traditionally like. I mean, NetHack was one of the first ones, and that's exactly what it was. You start a new game, you are starting a new game. It's an arcade thing, kind of style. Yeah.
Then I think I hate that genre, then. No. Oh well.
It's evolved a bit since, like, you can get stuff that carries over, but not all of them are like that, so...
Yeah. I was not aware of that, so I probably won't be playing that game again. It was like $1.50, so not a big loss. Yeah. Oh well. Lastly, for real-life stuff, as of, 7 days ago? On the 28th of April, my birthday, I don't have a valid driver's license. I forgot to go renew it, so I've been driving around illegally for the past few days.
That's a thing you shouldn't be saying.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm not going to be driving anytime soon, so that's good. And I don't know if it's different anywhere else, but around here, if your license is expired anywhere within 2 weeks, the cops will they don't care. They'll just say, go to the DMV, get it renewed, it's alright. I don't know. Maybe that's maybe just here, though.
So you're going to get it renewed?
Yeah, like tomorrow, or maybe even later today.
That's probably a good thing to do, yeah.
Yeah. And the rest is pretty much just a bunch of anime that I watched. I was recommended Kekai Sensen. Anyone seen that one?
Nope.
I've been thinking about watching that one. Is it good?
Yes, sort of. I'd say overall yes, but the main character's voice can get kind of grating at first until you get used to it.
Yeah.
Also, the first episode has 2 in media res moments. It's a bit crazy, and not in a good way, but it's easy to ignore.
All right.
My only real problem with the series is the main character is okay. Kenchi's mic is echoing. There, okay, stop. The main character does not have any offensive powers. His ability is to see everything as it was, will be, should be, could be, everything at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the all-seeing eyes of God. It's the name of it, and it's a good name for what it is. There's no real evidence to it, but visuals suggest that it's locked at certain levels so he doesn't just go crazy or lose his sense of self. And his only real attack is to let the enemies see through his eyes for just a second. And they lose every sense of where they're at or when they're at or that kind of thing. It's a cool ability, but it only works for a few seconds.
It's basically like, I can make you see the world through my eyes, and then you just make them go all Cthulhu insane.
Sort of. I'm kind of waiting for that insane moment, but they're kind of disoriented, and that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like there should be good progression.
It should be. Yeah, that'd be nice. Next, Fate Stay Unlimited, Bladeworks. Yeah, that was... I wanted to see it because it looked really good. The animation is very good, but this is a case of the fanon ruining the canon. I've read so much fan fiction, I've seen all this already.
Due to me not... I watched the Unlimited Blade Works movie. I played through the original game, so I don't feel inclined to really watch the anime, because I feel like they're stretching it out way too long.
I don't blame you. That might be the case. I couldn't stand more than 2 episodes. Like, I know how this fight's going to end. They're just dragging it out at this point. Yeah, it's...
Yeah. Because after saying that there's so many episodes to it, I'm actually kind of worried for it.
They're on a 2nd season now, so...
Yeah, that's why I'm worried.
Yeah.
Do you think they're ever going to do the 3rd route?
Heaven's Feel? Maybe.
Depends on how this one sells, I imagine.
Heaven's Feel is actually really good. I like that one. That one has the most plot importance out of all of them.
Isn't that the Sakura route?
Yes.
Alright, yeah.
It has literally the most plot. It literally explains basically everything. Unlimited Blade Works is super actiony and cool and everything. Fate Stay is just kind of generic, original.
Basically a love story.
Yeah, and then with Heaven's Feel, it's here's the plot, here's the actual story, and everything is twisted and screwed, and there's really nothing you can do about it. But you can try.
I guess that makes sense, because that would be the first option a lot of people would go for, is the cute neighbor girl.
I would have gone for Saber, to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, in the game, you have to go through Saber first, and you have to go through the routes in order to unlock them.
Oh. I was not aware of that.
Yeah,
In
Heaven's
that case,
Feel.
I would probably do it in the right order then.
So it's Fate's Stay is the first one, then it's Unlimited Blade Works is the second one, and then Heaven's Feel is the final one, and that explains everything. And it's really one of the, I think it's the best one in my opinion, in terms of sheer plot relevance alone.
And judging by that, then yeah, if it sells well, I see them doing that. Yeah, making that route. Third on the list here. Actually, I should probably get the last one out of the way. Gundam Build Fighters. Try. Watched that,
Okay.
and it was. I had the same problem that I had with Beyblade, where these are hunks of plastic. This shouldn't be happening. Like, in the first episode, somebody shoots the main character with a high-powered sniper rifle, or his Gundam, rather, and it goes clean through the chest, and then the Gundam explodes, and a smaller Gundam is inside of that Gundam, and it's completely pristine. It should have a hole in its chest. This is not how this works. Ah.
Okay.
I couldn't get past that then, so I had to drop that one at episode 2. Yeah. Crap. What did I compare this one to? The next one. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh well. Seraph of the End is kind of vampires have taken over everything. There's a virus released that kills everyone over the age of 13. So the children are livestock at that point.
I was reading the manga for that for a while, and I'm kind of watching it too. What's your take on it?
Okay. I don't want to see that ever.
Yeah. It's revealed in episode 3, I think, that vampires don't control everything. They just have hubs, pretty much. But still, yeah.
Yeah, the whole premise was there was a disease that was unleashed on mankind and made their numbers dwindle enough.
Yeah, 1/10 is left, I think, was the stats they gave.
Yeah.
And I'm going to spoil the first episode here because it's obvious from the start, but the main character is kind of like broody stoic guy, and he has a family of other orphans, and they're just kind of living in this little, I don't know, small apartment building, pretty much. They're a family. He doesn't want a family because his was abusive or something.
They're all orphans, yes. Yeah.
And the main good guy orphan, I guess, is working out a deal with one of the vampire nobles. Blood for various objects. Food, stuff. The implications are icky, but there you go. And so he gets a map, and they plan an escape, and then everyone but the main character dies escaping. Yeah. Only not. In the opening of the series, the show, it reveals that the good guy orphan is still alive and is a vampire. It's episode 2. We don't even...
Yeah, I know. I hate it. I hate that. They just spoil everything with the opening.
I like the series, but that was crap. Also, the entire series can essentially be summed up by somebody telling the main character he needs to do something with teamwork, and him saying, "Fuck you, I'm better than that," and then doing the thing.
Like getting owned.
He's not, though. At this point, he's passing every test.
Yeah, he gets owned a lot later on.
Good. I'm glad it catches up to him eventually.
It does catch up to him, I'll tell you that. He runs into a group of vampires outside, and he's like, "I'll take them on," and they wreck him completely. It's really bad.
That sounds about right. It's relieving, or it's refreshing, I guess, but I would like it to catch up to him eventually, so I'm glad to hear it does.
Yeah, it catches up. It almost kills his entire team.
Ah, great.
So, it does catch up to him.
And lastly, that's because this is going on a bit long, Yamada-kun to 7 nin on no Majo?
Yeah, Yamada-kun and the 7 Witches.
That's it. That would be way better. I could not find a translation anywhere. But an accidental kiss happens when 2 people fall down the stairs, and they discover, at least the guy discovers that he can switch bodies by kissing somebody.
Yeah.
That's a violent way for an accidental kiss to happen.
To explain the premise of this a little bit, as you probably find out later, there are 7 so-called witches in the school, and they all have powers that, as you can guess, are activated by kissing. The one girl he first kisses, she can switch bodies with whoever she kisses, and this guy, by the way, if he kisses somebody, he gets to store their power. And then
is that how that works? I thought it was the guy who had the power, and the girl.
No, he doesn't. He just has the power to store other people's powers. It's he has a copy power, basically.
Oh, all right.
So it's better than that.
It's weirdly endearing. I don't know.
It's written by a female, by the way.
Oh, all right, cool.
So, there's special attention you give to the female characters. That's pretty good.
It's not though. The main character is flat.
Yeah, because again, he's a guy, and it's like writing for the opposite gender can be difficult. I don't know. It's
there's a difference between it being difficult and the writer just not trying.
Mm.
I mean, the main female character, the bookish girl, she's utterly flat. We get senses of a personality sometimes, but they just disappear.
Yeah, I dropped that manga a while ago. Again, another thing I dropped. The main female character is like the flattest character, and it's kind of depressing.
So, yeah. Other interesting characters are introduced very quickly, but she always remains pretty uninteresting and boring.
Yeah, the other characters are more interesting than the main characters.
I don't know. I kind of like the main guy, but he's pretty generic.
Yeah,
he's tough guy McHothead, pretty much.
Yeah.
No, well, and that was my week, pretty much. I just dedicated a whole day to reading or watching stuff.
I'm still waiting for. Oh, did you hear they're making a new Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Another one?
This summer, Dragon Ball Super.
Let it die.
It takes place after the Majin Buu arc.
Stop.
Whole new anime.
There's no story to tell.
But they said they're going to have a villain that's stronger than even Majin Buu.
I don't give a fuck. Who cares about that?
They did that. It's called Battle of Gods.
But no, wait. There's even more, though. Remember, there's the F for Fukatsu, or R for Resurrection, or whatever you want to call it. The one with Frieza, and Frieza's now more powerful than everything. And then they're going to have somebody more powerful than Frieza in the actual anime.
Because that's
Isn't
all
that
Dragon
great?
Ball Z is. Stuff that's stronger than stuff.
Why do you constantly fillet the series, all of you?
I don't. I think it's stupid. But
I do it ironically.
It has potential to be interesting to a
It
point.
was better when I was a boy, okay? When it started being, I'm stronger than such and such is stronger than me, so I need to get stronger than such and such. And that's all it is now. And that was all it became. That's when it stopped.
You know what? I say this because I just find it hilarious the point that it's been overinflated to, that I always have to mention it, especially considering that I feel like the main reason they're bringing Dragon Ball back is because all the other shonen series are like, oh, we're more powerful than Goku. And so they're like, no, we can't allow that.
I could see that.
There's a whole crossover with Dragon Ball and One Piece and Toriko once, a triple crossover.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they're just like, well, and now Naruto ended, and Naruto's like, oh, Naruto's super powerful, and you have Bleach, and Bleach is like, yeah, everybody's super powerful in Bleach. And then there's a whole, people want Goku to be the strongest, I guess.
Why?
Because that's his goal, is to be the strongest whenever somebody stronger appears. And by stronger, we mean anybody in any other manga ever.
Then he's basically a villain and needs to die.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, anything else, Isa?
No, that was it.
Okay. My week, I read a gamefic. I don't read many of them now because
they're old.
They're tired.
More
than anything else. People aren't really doing anything new with them. The gamer has just made everyone write the same story.
I'm more
literally
upset by
the same
people's
story.
Response to it rather than the gamer itself. Is that it? Come on, come up with something original, please.
It's a shortcut, and people like shortcuts. It's especially disappointing considering I wasted all that time coming up with my own system, and then everyone just uses the same one. Exact same one.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I put a lot of thought into that. All you fuckers didn't. You just copied something. It's fucking... whatever. But yeah, I read a story called Scuba Gamers. It is another one of these ones that copies the gamer, I believe. Based on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, can you explain to me why they're called Scoobies? I don't...
Because they solve mysteries involving the supernatural.
Oh. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. Surprised they weren't sued over it, but, you know.
It's a referential joke. So, yeah. Yeah, so... There's an episode of the show where there's, like, a spell that's cast on Halloween and it turns people into their costumes.
Was somebody dressed as Sonic the Hedgehog?
No.
It's probably been done. It wouldn't surprise me. Halloween fics are very, very popular because after it ends, they get some of whatever they had. So Buffy went as like an 18th century noblewoman, and she speaks French now. Xander went as a soldier. He knows how to strip and rebuild an M16 in like about a minute. You get the idea.
Yeah.
So two of the characters go as... What are the names? Hanji... fucking whatever his name is. The protagonist from the gamer. And another character goes as the die-staff counterpart of the protagonist from the gamer. That was like a character for like a panel of the manhwa, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get the power, and then they form like a party with all the other characters, and then literally 50,000 words following that is stat wanking, as I've come to call it.
Pretty much.
I can do this now. Oh, look, I got this skill. I can do this to do this, and I can make myself stronger by doing this, and this. Oh, look, you have this skill. That means you can add this skill to my this skill, and we can do this, and this to do this. For 50,000 words.
Wonderful.
It's pretty excessive.
Most egregious of it, though, you know the instant dungeon thing that manga has?
Yeah.
Yeah, they use that.
Oh,
in fact,
okay.
that's pretty much their only source of getting experience. They just use that over and over again.
It would be, yeah.
I would like to point out that the setting of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is literally on the mouth of hell, and it is infested with vampires and demons that terrorize the population on a nightly basis.
You kind of don't need to do that.
Yeah.
How common are they, though? I thought it was like a Monster of the Week kind of thing. Where it's just
they
like...
patrol every night.
Oh. Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a system in which you can...
In fact, the characters literally patrol every night to, kill monsters and demons and vampires and shit. They stopped doing that in this fic. They literally stopped doing that. So that they can do dungeons.
Okay, so you basically have an established system which you can gain experience in and level up, but instead you're going to throw that away to use a more contrived system because screw you.
Awesome.
Alright.
I would like fanfiction authors to do me a favor. Remember that you're supposed to have a plot in a story.
It's pretty important.
Things are supposed to happen at some point. That's pretty much all I got from that story. It was, things happening is kind of an important facet of writing any story ever. If you don't do that, people will get sick of your shit within short order. So,
one thing to note about the gamer, like we've established with City of the Sorcerer and the Reflux, it's Korean, and it's, has a much slower pace, and it took a long time for people to actually get to the real plot of the gamer, and by imitating that, which I'm guessing they're doing, and focusing on the leveling up, it's not the same.
Not really.
You don't have any excuse for that.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember why it annoyed me in particular. Because I knew what the next episode after the Halloween thing was. It was, one of Buffy's old friends comes back to town and has a plan to turn himself into a vampire by sacrificing a bunch of wannabe vampire kids to vampires as an offering so that they would turn him into a vampire.
That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah. It was an okay episode. And as far as the timeline goes, I'm pretty sure they didn't even realize that was happening. They were too busy in the fucking dungeons and shit. So
a bunch of kids just died because they weren't paying attention?
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was not a good story, and I'm glad I dropped it. I think at some point it turned into a worm crossover. I don't even want to know. Yeah, I don't care. But yeah, that was infuriating. Because, there was a little bit of potential there. I would have read it if they had a plot. Any plot. Didn't have to be Buffy plot. Could have crossed over with other stuff. Just something. Anything at all. But no, didn't do it. So, that happened, and I had arguments with fucking Job Center, who have decided to suspend my claim because of the fucking Patreon stuff. So that's fucking awesome.
Great.
I got very angry on the phone. They threatened to cut off the call if I didn't clean up my language. I didn't swear, by the way, which I was more annoyed at that after that. But, my language is fine. Won't be now.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, so that was fun. So I'm hoping that fixes itself, and that the Job Center did what it's supposed to do by sending the evidence of the fucking earnings, which is what's supposed to happen, because they didn't, which is why I got the phone call, which is what made me angry. Fun times. Fuck you, British government, you're arseholes. Like, every single one of you. Every single one. That's pretty much my week, I think. We did a Dark Souls recording. That happened too. That was fun.
It was pretty good. I killed Casey a lot. Or tried to, at least.
You did once, I believe.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was fun. And if it starts to get a bit slow between episodes 11 and 15, because things are just, it's playing through the game, and we have less commentary, we have fun stuff planned. It's going to be a thing.
It's going to be interesting.
Slicer wants to make me cry.
Yeah. If I succeed at that, the LP has succeeded. Just.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess that's pretty much it for everyone. Is anyone not gone? I don't think anyone's not gone.
I think we're all finished.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. First topic of our topics is... Okay, something came up on Manga Reflux. Slicer asked why there were flying fish in a manga about psychic people. And I said it's because the Japanese think fish are psychic.
And he believed him.
I don't see why not.
Just accepted it without any question.
Yeah, no question, just, oh, really? That's interesting. That's pretty much what he said.
It was great.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, yeah, fish are psychic, according to the Japanese, just in case you didn't know. And but what do Western people think are psychic animals? I said owls, right before we started recording. What's that noise?
I don't know.
Dolphins.
That's
Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I could see dolphins as being psychic.
Slicer said cats.
Cats is recurring for Japanese. There's always a psychic cat.
See, cats aren't actually psychic, by the way, Zero, you're kind of quiet.
Sorry, I'm away from the microphone a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta stop doing that. Cats are creepy in the sense that they can brainwash you a little bit.
They're an omen rather than outright psychic.
That too, but the brainwashing thing is the most worrying thing about them. I don't think they're psychic or anything. What are psychic animals? Chameleons?
What?
Psychic at all?
I don't think the chameleons are anything but just physical color change and awesomeness.
Yeah. They also have a good name. Chameleon.
Iguanas.
Why?
Iguanas. Why are iguanas psychic?
I don't know. Like,
Nice.
Iguanas are pretty cool, I'll admit. They're like part cat, part dragon. It's great.
parrots.
Parrots aren't psychic. Parrots are stupid as fuck.
It's all an illusion.
Psychic animals.
Damn it. Can't think of any that are psychic? What animals touch my brain?
I'ma do a Google search.
Ooh, jellyfish.
Sure.
Jellyfish are not psychic. Jellyfish are stupid as fuck. They're just
Jellyfish are poison type, not psychic type.
Oh.
Lame.
Jellyfish are weak to psychic type.
But if you throw them on your head, then it's like Metroid.
go do that. See how that works out for you.
No.
5 psychic animals that can predict World Cup winners.
Monkeys.
There was a squid that
Monkeys
did
are
that for a
psychic.
while, wasn't there?
Monkeys are totally not psychic.
Just haven't met the right kind of monkeys.
What kind of monkeys would the right monkeys be, Zero?
The extinct
Kind that are
kind.
psychic.
We've killed them all already.
The kind of monkeys that are psychic monkeys are the kind that are psychic.
Sea turtles, apparently.
Huh. Alright. I guess
Well, if
since
they're
they're
that slow, they must spend
so
all their time
long-living.
thinking.
Starfish are psychic.
They are. Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah. Staryu and Starvy are psychic. So starfish are psychic.
Patrick Star. He foresaw the end times.
It's,
The ugly barnacle that fucked the
yeah.
world.
Yeah.
How
It's
is
a prophetic
this still
tale.
a thing?
It's true.
Right, so this is the tale you have to tell your children. I know I'm going to tell my children the tale of the ugly barnacle.
The ugly
One
Right.
the barnacle that was so ugly that everyone
Everyone
died.
died.
The end.
The end. Oh, it's so memorable. You could just say it word for word
It's
without
2
even.
lines.
Once upon a time, there was an ugly barnacle. So ugly that everyone died. The end.
That didn't help at all.
There's a page on National Geographic about psychic animals, but it's broken.
Oh.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, not surprised.
Psychic animals found out, that's why.
Mm.
They
They
didn't want
mind
their
controlled the
secret getting
National
out?
Geographic. They mind controlled the National Geographic people to shut down the website.
Cows are psychic.
Yeah, apparently there was an octopus that was psychic named Paul or something.
Did he die? I remember that.
Well, there's an article that says, "Do you miss Paul the octopus?" So I imagine so.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
Polyoctopus orchestrated all.
And cows are not psychic. I live down the road from them. They're stupid, stupid animals. They're adorable, though.
Yeah, so they're psychic.
They're pretty dumb.
Sea otters.
Why are sea otters psychic?
I remember seeing a video or something where they you throw a fish at them and they can do stuff, you know.
See, that seems like one of those animals that's not actually psychic. It just wants you to think it's psychic.
Who knows what the limits of a sea otter is if you give them a fish enough time?
Holy shit.
What?
Thank you, Google. You finally came through. I think. Are animals psychic? And that image of the cat, I know it's just like negativized or something, but still. Meow.
I mean, Zero, sea otters are like the John Edwards of psychics. Or the John Edwards of animals. What am I looking at here?
Scientists who are studying this interesting topic have coined the term ANSI, which is short for Psi Animal.
Wow. Great.
Yeah.
Pigeons
Dogs
are
can
psychic.
predict earthquakes, though, right? They can predict every natural disaster ever and see ghosts. Because that's what dogs do when they bark.
Animals have been documented to become anxious and frantic before natural disasters happen, such as earthquakes, avalanches, cyclones, and volcanic eruptions.
That I knew.
Yeah, that's true. There are some examples of animals predicting events that are outside the normal range of natural disasters. For example, in Railburg Park, a duck began to make a huge ruckus right before the Allies bombed the area in World War II.
Wow. All right.
This bird's alarm saved the hundreds of lives because the people who heard it sought out shelter. What the... Okay, yeah, kudos to the duck for saving the people, and for the people that have some massive idea of what ducks' reactions apparently mean. But why the fuck would a duck quacking make you run for shelter?
Maybe it was really loud and obnoxious and they wanted to get away from it.
Maybe it was a scary-ass duck, you know.
The ducks are scary. I mean, they got those corkscrew penises.
Yeah.
If you want to know what it looks like, just imagine a penis in the shape of a corkscrew. God damn it. Apparently, Abraham Lincoln's dog was howling and racing around the White House before he was shot.
Maybe he was just bored.
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like regular dog behavior to me.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, it's a kitty. The Finding Loved Ones, yada yada yada. Kitty, it's a kitty. Adorable. Meow. Fits in a hand. Anyway, yeah. So that was... I apparently need to link that article. That was a read. I'm not going to say it was an interesting read, but it was something.
Yeah.
Not a lot of folklore about psychic animals, apparently. I thought there'd be more, to be honest.
I think it's mostly just focused on that predicting the natural disaster thing. It's not so much moving things with their mind or other psychic abilities.
Yeah, that'd be cool, though. Someone's got some white noise, by the way. Foxes could be psychic.
Why?
They could grow giant mustaches and wield spoons.
Yeah.
Cadabras are foxes?
I believe so.
I don't know what the hell those things were.
I'll double check it for you, but I'm pretty sure they were. Seriously, someone's got really bad white noise, I don't know why.
That's me again. I don't know how to... That better?
That's better, yes.
Okay.
It doesn't really say, but it looks kind of like a fox if you look at it right.
It's a stretch.
It looks vaguely fox-like. The, claw feet are a little bit weird, but, Yeah, it's like it has an insect lower body and a fox upper body, kind of.
What are we talking about?
Kadabra.
Oh, the Pokemon. Right, okay.
Yeah, that one.
I've always thought it was a fox of some kind.
Yeah, see? It's fox.
Slicer's fucking the I want to go on what I'm supposed to be.
That cut out, but I'm getting the impression that you don't trust Slice's opinion about Kadabra being a fox, but he's supporting me, so I'm going to go with his opinion.
You shouldn't ever take my opinion on anything when it comes to Pokemon, because I don't care.
No, I think you're right.
Sure.
I think you're absolutely right. I believe in your authority in this case, Slicer.
How about we just say we don't trust anyone? There we go.
I trust me.
No, you don't.
And I trust people that agree with me. I just stated the opinion of anyone that talks about politics ever.
Pretty much.
So next topic. Let's just fucking move on. I don't know what that was. That whole 10-minute talk about psychic animals that didn't really go anywhere at all. Anyway. Next topic is supernatural angst. Oh, who wants to live forever? Who wants to live forever?
Okay, stop. No.
Okay.
Alright. So supernatural
I kind of
angst.
want to live forever.
That's angst from being supernatural.
Really? No, really?
Like being immortal.
Like being immortal.
Yeah.
First thing I'm going to say on this.
Who wants to live?
Casey,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
control yourself.
Sorry.
No.
First thing I'm going to say on this. If immortality is your character's major beef, his supernatural angst, don't harp on it for, ever. You can mention it, but don't just constantly bring it up. It's annoying.
It is.
Yeah.
I can understand if it comes up every now and then. It comes up because it's relevant. But don't just bring it up and then be like, oh, I'm going to sulk now because I live forever. Or my entire character is, I just want to... I've lived too long and I'm going to keep living on. And oh my gosh, I hate the world and life is boring. Ah, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
It's been done before.
I mean, I've been watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood recently because it's on Netflix and I have a Netflix subscription. It's awesome.
Uh-huh.
But, what's his fucking name? Alphonse.
Yeah.
His whole thing. Everyone's like, hey, you're gonna fucking live forever, that's great. And his focus is not on the whole, I'm gonna live forever thing. That he'd probably be okay with, I get the impression. But it's the whole, I can't eat
I
thing.
can't.
Yeah.
And I can't feel
Yeah.
anything, ever.
If it's something
He's alive but not living.
If it's something related to some sort of transformation or body horror type thing,
Yeah.
you have
If it's the drawbacks of having the immortality, like, I'm immortal, but all this other stuff, so I would rather not be immortal and be able to do such and such and such and
Yeah.
such.
for example, think of the Fantastic Four. All right,
Mm-hmm.
it would be natural for Ben, the Thing, to have significant angst over the fact that he is literally made of rocks.
That must suck.
That was a thing in the movie, but it was the thing for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
They kind of glossed over it.
that's something you don't want to gloss over. In contrast, if you're Johnny Storm and you have the power to just turn yourself on fire and then turn that off,
Yeah.
you don't have...
If you can turn off the power, you don't have anything to angst about.
Yeah.
This is something is legitimately different about you, and it causes you anguish in some way, and it has
Your
to be
quality of life suffers for it.
a legitimate cause for that anguish. Just because you're immortal doesn't mean that your life is absolutely horrible, because there's tons of ways to die even if you're still immortal and you live forever. It's just you gotta step in front of a car for all I know,
Depends on your kind of immortality. Some people live forever, and that's a really bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Heroes. What's her name? The cheerleader?
Mm-hmm.
Her moaning about being immortal was kind of grating.
She didn't have long enough to even feel the effects of being immortal.
She was 16 years old, and oh no, I can never be injured or hurt in any serious way for very
I
long.
was 16 years old, and I found out. I'd be super happy about that. I've been like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go and live forever. I'm gonna change the world.
I bet you I can jump this fence from that rooftop. Bet you can't. Oh yeah.
Ow! I should be dead. Oh no, I'm not dead.
Oh,
it was like the first shot of the series was her jumping off of a railroad track over a bridge or something. It was like a 50-foot fall, and she was like, I'm Claire Bennett, that was it, that was her name.
Yeah.
She said, I'm Claire Bennett, and that was attempt number whatever number. So basically she'd been trying to kill herself.
Why? Nothing happened.
Because she
I don't know.
Couldn't. The thing about hers was she had the best version of this, where if she had something that kept her from regenerating, she would essentially just be in a coma for that. She jammed a stick into her spinal cord or something like that, at the base of her skull, and then she woke up like 2 weeks later with no memory of that time. So if she gets trapped in like lava or something and she suffocates, then she'll wake up whenever she comes out, and she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made it okay about the angst thing a bit later. They basically gave her that syndrome where you can't feel pain at all.
Yeah, that is legitimately that can be
that was more legitimate, but at the beginning, that was pointless teenage
in contrast,
wangsting.
there was another character who was like a samurai from an ancient time, and he was immortal as well, and they locked him in a coffin.
Yeah.
For hundreds of years? Thousands?
Yeah. Hundreds.
He better have been crazy.
I don't remember because it was like season 3 or something, but pretty much, I think.
Yeah.
I think I got season 1 and 2 in a box set or something like that, and I watched those, and that was enough for me.
Season 1 was good. Everything after that was absolute shite.
If your power is awesome, please don't ruin the character by making them angst about their awesome power. At least not until they've had it long enough to feel the detriments.
To feel the drawbacks, yeah.
Because if your power is, like, say for example, you have the power of flight, but the downside is you can never touch the ground ever again, who needs to touch the ground? You know?
That would be your reaction for the first, I don't know, couple weeks, yeah. And then you want to touch the ground, probably.
Then you look like a freak because you can never touch the ground.
Yeah.
And everybody will notice.
Mm. And then you would be other, and then you would be alienated.
Yes. So, the thing about supernatural angst, make sure it's legitimate first.
Yeah. Like, bring it back to Buffy again. There were a lot of vampires in that show. A lot of them were good guys. Or, towed the line. Thing is, none of them ever complained about the whole I never die thing. I don't think. Like, all of them either had something else to complain about, like the whole Angel spending 100 years killing and murdering, or having the memory of spending 100 years killing, murdering, driving people insane for amusement, calling it art, how you would destroy a person's very soul. Yeah, he was a bad dude, and then he gets his soul back and all that stuff. And that's some angst-worthy stuff right there. But he never really complains about the whole I never die thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
So establish if that sort of angst is legitimate, and then establish if, and then try to have an arc for it. Have some progression towards getting through that.
Yeah, like, there is a point where having such a power would get to the point where it's angst-worthy.
Yes.
Like, there would be an appropriate time where you've had this power for long enough that the shine's starting to come off of it, and you're realizing, oh, I can't do this anymore.
I can't go back.
And then that's probably all you're going to think about for a long while of what you've lost.
Exactly. And if there's a recovery from that, that's great.
Yeah. That's called a character arc.
Yes.
Those are a thing, yes.
If you don't do that, and you continue on with that angst as an ongoing thing until the last chapter of the story, I don't know what to think about that.
You either slap the author or get one of the characters to slap that character, depending on why that is.
Yeah.
Because it's either the author being stupid and dragging something out for no reason, or it's the character being childish.
Yeah.
Like, we mentioned, I've mentioned multiple times in Boku no Hero, or My Hero Academia,
Thank you.
that the reason why he chose the girl with the light and happy power to make people lighter was because he didn't want to deal with the supernatural angst of choosing somebody that could grow in size at random intervals.
Except he then gave her angst about a poor family. So that is a more civilian angst
It's
point.
a more character angst rather than a power angst.
Because I read in one of the side stories that Mountain Lady's power was basically she grew to a size with little to no control over it at times. Which could be really bad.
There's room for both sorts of it. There's room for both character angst and power angst. But, you know...
Please don't do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Like...
No one likes a misery guts. At least no one likes someone who is constantly a misery guts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Sasuke. It always comes back to him. There are thousands of tropes where we could point out how Sasuke is a bad character, okay?
Yeah.
He technically had power angst from his eyes and everything.
He had power angst from them being his brother's eyes when he got the transplant, yes.
And then he got angst from just being himself. And existing. So...
God, I hate Naruto.
It's pretty bad.
But seriously, I think we've established so far. There's a few rules you want to always follow. You want to establish, number one, if the angst is legitimate. Number two, you want to establish that character arc for them using that angst. And number three, you want to establish a time period for that angst to go through and appropriate timing for that angst to come out.
Yeah, so if you want to go from the very beginning of them getting this power, there would be getting the power, finding out it's awesome, that's great, yay, 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 fun times with the power, then, oh, I can't do that anymore? Well, that kind of sucks. Man, I really want to do that now. I can never do that again, can I? Damn, this kind of sucks, actually. I really want to...
Yeah. And there will be varying effects based on what kind of angst it is. For example, if it's Vampire's case and you're immortal, then you can't really go out in the sunlight that much. You have to...
Can't go out in the sunlight. A lot of the time, you lose a fair amount of sensation, like food. There's not much taste to it. You only have a taste for blood.
Yeah. And you have to kill people.
Likewise, you can't drink or anything. Yeah, you sometimes have to kill people.
If you don't kill them, then you have
survive.
way more problems to deal with.
Or you have to steal blood from a blood bank, in which case you're probably killing people by proxy. Yeah. Stuff like that, yeah.
Whereas on
or
the
you're
other
drinking
side,
animal blood, which is kind of
whereas
gross.
on the other side, you're Ben Grimm, and you're no longer something that you can think of as human. And you can't blend in with normal society as you used to.
For that, the yay, 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 yay period would be pretty short. You'd be like, fuck yeah, I made a rock. This is awesome. I can just punch through walls and shit. Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, how do I turn it off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't?
Maybe you didn't want that wall destroyed.
So, it's definitely something you want to consider when you're considering how to develop your characters and what their circumstances are. just put an adequate amount of planning into it before you start it, and as you go, just see if you can improve upon it. You don't have to spend a million years planning out one character's arc, because you've got a lot of characters normally. So...
And also, supernatural angst is not well done when all you do is write a sentence saying, "Oh, it sucks that I can't do this now, but I guess I have to deal." And then you do that in the next chapter, and then you do that in the next chapter. Just that same thing over and over again. That's not...
Unless you're planning to just snap one chapter.
Mm.
In which case that would be kind of interesting. But, yeah.
Mm. It's good to have conversations for that kind of thing.
Conversations.
Like, they will, like the character will subtly, sort of, I've forgotten the word. They'll subtly sort of reference the problem that they're having without really stating it, but it'll acknowledge that they have a problem with the thing that they got, and they'll have a conversation, and it might help resolve them over it. It might not. But, it's development of that character arc.
I'm a fan of, I write from a third person omniscient point of view, or semi-omniscient, and so that means I can kind of switch around from characters to sort of show more of their perspectives without outright, like, showing their thoughts all the time in, like, little thought sentences, the quotation marks, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you can use that to kind of switch to their perspective and kind of touch upon that and expand upon that as you want. Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah. And obviously, don't just spend scenes of the character moping to themselves and brooding over how bad they have it. Once, maybe that's okay, but after a while, your audience will not enjoy reading that.
No.
It will be more a case of, "Oh, for the love of God, would you stop whining about this? Maybe talk to someone about it instead of just moping to yourself." Or eventually they will just be like, "Fucking get over it, for God's sake. We don't want to read about this anymore." So there's a tolerance limit for whining.
Yeah.
I guess.
Personally, I found I fell a lot into angst when I first started writing, because it can be pretty easy to write if you focus on it.
Think about it this way. If you have a friend and they are constantly talking about how miserable their life is and how hard they have it and such things, and every time you see them, that's all they talk about,
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you're doing when you're writing them being mopey. When you write a character being mopey all the time, that's what you're doing, because it is a scenario where the reader has to just go through it, and they just have to accept that that's happening, that's what the conversation's going to be, and they just have to bear with it.
It's just pain.
You want a healthy amount of angst.
Yeah.
As much as it's just like this character can be normally pretty normal, but every now and then they have their dark moments.
Mm.
That makes sense, yeah.
Hey, Immortal Jack, what's going on? Oh, what does it matter? You won't be alive long enough to care 20 years from now.
That's always kind of confusing, yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Doctor Who spent like 4 years on that. That's fucking ridiculous.
It doesn't matter how old a character is. A character will always see years as years. They're long periods of time.
Mm. Yeah, there's this weird fixation on supernatural characters that are long-lived, seeing, like, say, centuries being, a blink of an eye. That's not how it works. It's still a long fucking time, dude. Doesn't matter how long you're going to live, it's still going to seem like a long time, because it's a long fucking time. Okay, so next topic is jerkass gods.
Yeah. Who's gonna?
So, if you're ever going to do anything with the Greek or Roman, basically the same thing, pantheon, bear in mind that they were dicks. Pretty much to a one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both in personality, and they like to stick their penises in everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Everything and everyone, yeah. So, yeah, you might have read some Fate Stay stories where Medea was the victim of circumstances, or Medusa was the victim of circumstances involving the Greek and Roman pantheons being absolute dicks to them for no adequately explained reasons. They were just bastards through and through. Yeah, that's pretty much how those characters were.
Yeah, that was a thing. That was... Yep.
They were revered because they were powerful, or they were believed to be powerful because, it's a mythology, but they were revered because they were powerful and people didn't want to get on their bad side, because even on their good side, they would still probably fuck you over on a good day.
Because they can.
Because they can, yes.
I mean, what are you going to do about it?
Basically. So, yeah. Yeah, most mythologies were kind of like that. For whatever reason. Maybe it just made stories more interesting if, the humans were playthings of the gods, but they maybe get a bit of the last laugh every now and again. It made for good, compelling narratives. Since their audiences were human, obviously, because, it's humans.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that might be why. At a guess, but I'm not exactly a historian, so...
I guess it's to portray humans as always good guys, and it's the gods' fault that we're evil. It's kind of shunting blame, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, there are a lot of stories where the gods are supposedly the good guys, but a lot more of the time it's just them just screwing around, doing whatever. You want to do a random omnipotent bastard story, just pick any deity from, 90% of religions.
Pretty much.
I mean, even the Christian God did that sort of.
Oh, yeah, he was an asshole in the Old Testament, too.
Yeah. Fucking Job, obviously, is the one story that really springs to mind.
Which one is that?
Job, the guy, he has a nice, happy family and stuff, and he's successful.
God tested him really badly.
The devil shows up and is like, hey, that guy wouldn't praise you if he didn't have a good life, so God, kills his family, gives him disease, and destroys his business and everything.
I don't think he killed his family. His family left him, I think.
Whatever, the same difference. As far as the story goes, the same difference. And God's like, hey, even though I did all this horrible, horrible stuff to him, even though I did all this horrible stuff, he still praises my name. So fuck you, devil. I proved you wrong.
Does he ever reverse that
God?
damage?
Are you gonna...
I think he does.
No? Yeah, he does.
I would...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So he makes him suffer for however long it was to prove a point, and then, he fixed it, so it's okay again.
You kind of, without having the Bible in front of me as reference, there's nothing I can really say to that, so it's kind of...
Yeah, Job is probably one of the worst stories for that, I'll admit. And I'm not bashing your religion, Zero, don't worry about that, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, as far as stories go about gods, they're usually dicks.
Yeah.
Usually. Because they have power and we don't.
They're at the top.
And thus
Why do they care?
They can do whatever they want with that power. We can't do shit about it. Fun topic, guys.
It occurs to me I haven't actually read a whole lot of series with this as a thing. I mean, Fate's Day does use gods, but they're not... Nobody summons a god unless it's an AU story.
No, it's just gods from the second-hand perspective. You get Medea and Medusa's perspective on gods, and I guess maybe Alexander the Great says something about it. I don't know. He might have more of a not interested kind of relationship with the gods.
Supernatural did this a lot in their early seasons.
They did.
Supernatural? Yeah. Did it though? Well, it did a lot with the pagan religions, I guess. Yeah, like harvest gods and things like that. Yeah, that was a thing. And they briefly did a thing with Loki, but that wasn't really Loki.
It wasn't?
No, it was...
It was Gabriel.
Oh.
An archangel. He was just being... He was trying to prove a point, if memory serves. Also fucking with them for his amusement, but you know. That was a good show. First 5 seasons.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I should probably watch it.
I'd be watching it right now if it was on Netflix. Unfortunately, it isn't.
What's it on? Anything?
I don't know. It might be on Amazon Prime.
Ugh.
I haven't checked. Yeah, I know. There's not much good on there. It's a good show, though. What other pantheons are there? There's fucking Norse gods, obviously. I don't know that much about the Norse gods, I'll be honest.
Either.
I know there's Thor and Odin and Loki, and Loki was kind of a dick, but that's about it.
Freya and...
Yeah. Loki was an
Freya
absolute
and
troll.
And then there's
and I think
Sleipnir and Hel and...
I think their biggest flaws was arrogance and boisterousness, and that was just kind of for all of them.
They very much liked fighting, but that was probably a cultural thing, because the Vikings, they also liked fighting a great deal, so,
yeah.
you know.
So it makes sense.
Them and the gods were
things
bros on that. Yeah. Yeah. Shinto pantheon, I don't know much about that either, but Susanoo and such are kind of dicks too.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, they're horrible. They're the same as the Greek pantheon, pretty much.
Yeah, it's interesting how that happened in pretty much every culture.
Lots of
that had, you know,
lots of
polytheistic
family screwing, lots of animal screwing, lots of generals screwing people over. Even each other, especially each other.
Yeah. But it makes for fun stories. So, you know. If you take that from it, it's fucking... It's great.
Yeah.
It's nice having a story where the power is basically insurmountable. And all you can do is do what you can.
Pretty much just deal with it, essentially.
Yeah. It's kind of it kind of makes for a bittersweet story. You can't get a happy ending, so you make it as happy as you can.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Anything else we want to say for Jerkass Gods?
Does anybody have any suggestions for writing them?
Make them disinterested in your struggle and do everything for their own amusement.
Yeah, pretty much. That's really all you can give.
Yeah. Your characters are going to be ants from their perspective.
Unless for some surprising reason your characters have a tie to them.
To quote Bruce Almighty, God is a fucking kid with a magnifying glass. You are the ant, and it's fucking burning, etc.
Sometimes burning, other times looking. Pretty much on a whim, whether it's which one.
Yeah, so they'll do what they'll do. Your character doesn't really have much say in the matter. And if pretty much anything they do can basically be on a whim. So your character can try and act out against them, and the god will either smite you down, because, you know, it's God, he can do that, or he'll just be amused by your pluck. You're like, alright, that's funny. I like the gumption, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it depends on nothing, really. Gods are basically an unknowable kind of perspective, so you could write them however you damn well please and just fucking run with it.
Literally flip a coin to decide their motivation, and that's it. That's all you really need to do. Or maybe a dice to have more than 2 options.
Yeah, dice could be good. We're basically saying just write based on chance, but you know, what else can you do? It's So I guess that's it for Jerkass Gods?
Pretty much. I can't think of anything else.
Alright, we're an hour and a half, so it's a decently long episode. It's okay. Recommendations. Go, Ken, go.
Okay.
Ken has one. Go, Ken,
All right.
go.
This is a familiar Zero fic called Emperor of Zero. During the familiar summoning ceremony, Louis summons Napoleon.
Oh, yes! Yes, link that now. Please, I need to read that.
This is Napoleon at the end of his reign in France, like where it's all coming down. He knows it's over, so he really doesn't have much of an issue of going. Because he kind of I think when he gets there, he gets a dream. He realizes he's going to be exiled to an island when the others take over France. So he doesn't really have much of a problem with it. But when he gets there, Napoleon do what Napoleon do, which is get a jump start on trying to take over everything. And he does start taking over things very subtly, and it's awesome. It's amazing. And he doesn't fight a single time. This thing
of course
is like
not.
This thing is like 48 chapters in. He killed like one person, and it wasn't even in a battle. He does not fight anyone. And his reaction to the first time he saw dragons, like, dragons. All right, how do I kill them? How good are my cannons against dragons?
He's still obsessed with your cannons?
Yes.
He wouldn't even be Napoleon if he wasn't obsessed with cannons. So, all right, yeah, I like that.
Cannons are pretty fucking awesome. I'm with him on this one.
But we have mages. Yeah, but these cannons have range. Let me put those cannons up on this mountain.
Have a giant metal ball hurtling at you.
This sounds good.
It's really good. It's so great.
Anyone else got a recommendation?
I'll have to go next. I need to look up more about it.
Oh, after someone. Okay. My recommendation is Remnant. It is a Naruto Kenshi crossover. Basically, end of the story-ish. Madara wins. Steals the fucking QB. And remakes the Jubi. And it immediately sees the world and says, hey, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna eat it. And he eats the world.
Okay, sure.
Not exaggerating at all. That's exactly what he does. And he sees all the amazing stuff that he just ate, and he's like, oh, that kind of sucks. I shouldn't have ate that. Oh, look, hey, this kid is sort of not quite dead yet. I'll take him and seal myself in him, and then all the stuff that I just ate will be sealed inside him, and he'll be the remnant of this awesome thing that I made. Because he made the world in this mythology.
Naruto gets the Well of Souls? Holy shit.
Basically, yeah. Something like that.
Huh.
So, yeah, he gets sent to the fucking Kenshi world, which is basically modern day with super martial arts.
Why do you keep calling it Kenshi? Isn't it Kenichi?
Because it's easier to pronounce it that way.
All right,
and that's how they pronounce it in the show. Kenichi.
Okay.
And, so the Jubi tells Naruto that he's basically the last remnant of his world, and he is going to be a testament to its existence to the creation of the Jubi, I guess. And as the first step of that, he basically relives Neji's life and learns the fucking, what's his name, style. Gentle Fist, that was it.
Jukin?
They mean the same thing. Yeah. And gets the notice of martial artists and such, and the plot goes. It's pretty fun. There's some fun stuff in it. The characters are decent. Nothing to write home about. Like, Naruto is an appropriate level of angsty about the situation, I guess. But him being him, he just pretty much does what he can and moves on. And, then it's basically Kenshi. As it is, more or less.
Huh. Alright.
It's pretty good. 70-something thousand words. Good so far. And last updated April 11th. So, still active. So, yay.
Yay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's nicer. Your recommendation.
Yeah, I was not going to have one because I haven't been reading much, but Casey suggested I recommend. That's it. That's the word. I don't know why I forgot what the word recommend was. Anyway, it's a Dark Souls DxD crossover by Axiom.
How do you always?
I don't know. I don't care. Araxium sounds better. Axiom, whatever. Anyway, it pretty much starts off with Dark Souls canon with the Chosen Undead fighting Seath, and this is hands down the best Dark Souls fight I have ever read. It's really good. It's made me rethink how I'm going to do combat in my own, actually, if I ever get around to writing more of that. And things just... It goes with the cycle of Dark Souls in that nations rise and fall, but the Lord Souls are eternal. So Seath just kind of goes into hibernation, essentially, in the soul, the Lord Soul or whatever. And eventually, somebody captures the soul and puts it into a weapon, being the sacred gear. And Issei eventually gets that. Only Seath, the gear that Seath is made into, I forget the name of it, is given to a lot of different people, and they all go fucking nuts. Because Seath is the, avatar of madness, essentially. His power or knowledge or whatever is just too much for everyone. And including him. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And the only ones that are resistant to it are the people who are already crazy. And even they succumb eventually. Apparently Issei's obsession with breasts is enough to give him some resistance. It counts as crazy. Because it goes against his self-preservation instincts. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. And this is... It's kind of disturbing. The thing I don't like about this one, kind of, is it skips around a lot. If you don't already know DxD canon, you're going to get lost instantly, because it's from Seath's perspective, and he doesn't care about Issei. He's just another vessel that's slightly interesting. Enough to maybe... Not even interesting to actually talk to. Yeah. He's just sort of, I have a host? He's not going to do anything, he's worthless. Yeah. And so he gives Issei some power whenever Issei's loud enough to wake him up. And so I think at this point Issei has some basic control over crystals, enough to make like knuckle duster kind of weapons, and then the Dragon's Breath miracle, I think, from Dark Souls 1. I forget the name of it, but it's just a wave of crystal, pretty much. And I forget how far into DxD canon it is, but... I think it finishes the first arc, the whole thing with Reynari. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. But it very much glazes over it. It's basically, it's basically canon, just with crystals instead of boosting. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't waste any time with it, it just kind of moves along. Yeah. So I I think it has a lot of potential, but at the moment there's not a lot there, so maybe give it another 1 or 2 chapters to really make up your mind about it. But I would definitely read that first fight. It's really good.
I'm looking forward to more, to be honest.
I'm not hyped. I'm not hyped about DxD, so
I am. That's just me, though. Okay. Zero, do you have anything?
I recommend that you guys go and read the scathing reviews on bad OC stories, because some of them are fantastic.
All right, yeah, I can get behind that.
Just spend an afternoon doing that, and you will love everybody. You can find some good ones. They're always great.
Reaffirm what you already knew about the internet.
I think my problem with that is not... It's very uncommon to see a bad review because they're either deleted or most people just leave before they care. So you're left with the mindless supporters. The imbeciles.
I'll look for them, and then when you read them, it's so worth it just to see them get torn apart. Schadenfreude is a great feeling.
It is.
I mean,
okay.
Not saying there aren't good OC stories, but there are a lot more bad ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Thanks for listening to etc. Fandom Flux episode.
I don't know.
85, I think.
That sounds about right.
85.
Yeah.
87. 93. Hut. Hike.
If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do this with the Blogspot page with comments, personal profiles, fanfiction.net, YouTube channels with comments. Please donate on Patreon. We'd appreciate it. I need to do the thing. I forgot about the thing.
What thing?
The donors thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, right. Listing the donors for the... Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, the thing, yeah.
Since we have a second, Zero's suggestion. I forgot your name. Seriously, what the hell's wrong with me today?
Oh, it's okay. I'm nobody anyway.
Everyone forgets Zero, don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, his suggestion would also probably work for self-insert stories, and probably be even better, actually.
Yes! Look for all of that. It's so much fun if you can find bad reviews like that. Because sometimes the author will respond back in the reviews, which is doubly hilarious.
Zero's mean.
I am mean.
Is it mean if the people that deserve it?
Zero, do remember that it's at one point in time you were writing bad OC and self-insert stories.
I hate myself for that, but you know what? I'm going to take pleasure in other people getting torn apart for it.
He's gone through that hell, and now he gets to laugh at the people behind him.
No, he didn't. No one reviewed his stories.
I got a few reviews. They were insane, though. Literally insane.
Okay. RXM, you donated $10. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Great. The fucking recommendation that Slicer gave was not because you donate his money every month. It's because your stories are good.
I just like your writing. The only problem I was hesitant about is because of the DxD part. I'm not really into that series, so, yeah.
For shame, Slicer.
It's boobs. How did I... Okay. The setting is interesting, but the anime's take on it is not. It's like a war with multiple factions. It's really interesting, but no, titties! Look at the titties! Tits!
Yeah, what's the hate? Well, the fucking sound effects that's something to hate. That's really disturbing. They are not filled with, like, I don't know, fucking syrup or something. Whatever makes that fucking noise. It's gross. Tempest Tropa, you still have not gotten back to us about the fucking reward that you get. Have gotten 7 times at this point.
What's the reward?
So, fucking chatting with us for a while. Yeah.
I'll talk to him in Skype right now, because now I have him on Skype. Hey, dude.
So,
you know that Patreon thing?
Yeah, like if you were conscious of donating us money, thanks for the continued support. But if you've forgotten about it, hey, we're getting money from you, so maybe you know.
Mm.
You know that you won a chat with us.
One. That's a way to phrase it. Great.
7 times.
Yeah, because we're awesome people like that. Yeah, awesome.
In a row.
Or 2 3/4 guest spots. Or 1 1/4.
Yeah.
You want to claim it?
1 3/4.
Yeah.
If he wants to do a guest spot instead, I'd be okay with that. At this point.
At this point, we'll let you do a guest spot instead if you want.
Fair play. Resden, you donated $4. You have also spent enough money to earn a guest spot if you would prefer. You're $24. Up to you, bro.
And we are so sorry for your constant fail Pokemon. Isn't he one of the names that it's like we get him and then the Pokemon dies an episode later?
Who's Resden been? I can remember him being somebody. We haven't played Pokemon in like 3 weeks, so...
Yeah, it's been a while.
What was Resden? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Clearly not very important.
He wasn't the Hippodon, right?
No.
Was he the fucking Krokorok or whatever it's called? Crocodile?
Not either.
Oh.
I think we named...
Mightyena? No, that was kind of...
I think we wound up naming him twice and taking it away from something because he was already something.
Maybe? I know that happened to somebody. And it was really unfortunate because he got a good Pokemon, but he was already a shitty Pokemon.
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
Oh
well.
That was unfortunate. Anyway, you've donated $4 and you've donated $24 total, so thanks for that. You're great.
Thank you.
Some guy is still not getting through with the donations, so I don't know what you're doing. I have thanked you for the attempt a few times, but nothing's actually changed, so fucking whatever. It's just a thing that doesn't happen at this point.
I'd like to think that's not intentional, but yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay, once again, thanks for listening to stuff. Bye now.
Later,
See you guys.
jerk.
Bye.
Who wants to live forever?
Shut up.
You know what?
Oh.
This episode, I had to put my foot down and say no. Normally, you're the one that stops me from singing, but I had to say no.
The fuck are you talking about? Everyone complains about my singing.
I don't know. It was pretty good.
Except the audience. Someone in the audience liked my singing. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody. Anyway, bye now.
Bye.
Bye.